How a Canadian miner found a portal to another world in the mountains of Canada. In search of ore deposits, two Canadian miners in 1968 found themselves on the side of a mountain where they saw very strange rocks. A thick mist existed near the rocks, hiding a portal to another world or dimension. This interesting story was filed with the U.S. Center for UFO Research, CUFON, in 2010 by a relative of an eyewitness. This happened in 1968 in the Canadian Northwest, where two miners, Alex M. and Finnish immigrant Veino Himonen, were looking for ore deposits for the Vancouver Mining Company. The place was remote and inaccessible, but they found nothing. However, when they decided to leave the area, they found something extremely unusual. Looking at the side of the mountain, they noticed strange formations and flat rocks measuring 15 by 1.5 meters, like a door on the side of a mountain. And there were two large boulders, and the place was scattered with some incomprehensible stones. The boulders were covered with moss, and there was heavy, dense fog in the area. Everything seemed strange that the two miners decided to go to the site and see what was there. When they arrived, they saw the larger stones were banana-shaped and about 3 feet long, and the smaller stones appeared to be made up of even smaller stones that were silver in color and translucent. These small stones, according to the miners, looked like frog eggs. They saw small stones that were as smooth as glass, and they tried to determine what kind of mineral they were made of. They didn't succeed, but they did find something else unusual: rings of molten rock, which were probably the result of some mining in the area. At the same time, there had never been any mining operation in this area. Both miners knew this very well, and that is why they were sent here to look for mineral deposits. While wondering what kind of work had been done in the area, they looked at the strange thick fog on the side and had the feeling that this fog is artificial to cover the spot. Double fog noticed a huge tree uprooted, and this tree clearly, beside the fog that is, double to the fog. Now this tree clearly could not have grown on this mountain. It was not the right soil for such a large tree. Where did it come from, and who brought it there, they wondered. The fog surprised them, and so much that Alex could not resist and got too close to the thick clouds of fog. He tried to look at what was in the fog, and then the following happened as he described it. After about 2 or 3 paces through the thick fog, I found myself on a grassy ground. The grass was up to my knee, and as much as I was higher, strange happening, my mind was completely blank except for a small part of my brain that said, "Go back." Then I crawled back out of the fog. Alex was shocked by what happened and he felt exhausted. He couldn't even stand on his feet when he came out of that mist and lay down on the stones. Later he said that he felt threatened by the mysterious grass and that he was in a state of strange fear, as if something was shouting at him that it was dangerous to proceed. And then something even stranger happened. He looked into the mist again and now saw 2 human figures. They were standing at the edge of the mist curtain and looking at him, hovering above the ground at a distance of about 3 feet. They were as tall as a man, had long white hair, and the same long white beards on their faces. They looked like they were about 40 years old and looked like representatives of the white race. However, their eyes were unusual. Not like those of humans, they looked like they were twins. For a moment he looked away to realize that he was seeing no vision, and when he looked again he saw that one was still standing at the edge of the mist, while the other person had turned and disappeared into the depths of the mist. They didn't say anything to him, just stared at him in silence. Alex was shocked and overwhelmed. He got up and left the spot and went to his partner, and the two of them soon left the place. Alex said nothing to his partner about what he experienced and saw when he was in the fog, and when he came out of it, and he did not say anything to anyone for fear of being thought crazy. In the years that followed, he remembered what he had seen over and over again, not daring to go to that place again and find what he called the door. Years later, he finally decided to tell the story to his brother, and in 2010, his brother decided to send it to the UFO Research Center. After that, the center's researchers managed to get in touch with Alex for more details, but he was very unhappy that his brother told them the story. And of course, he didn't say anything about it except where this strange place is to be found. And he did very well. These are for mystics and not for everyone. And even if they claimed to be a UFO researcher, most of them have no moral values and they don't even know the true story. The issue has to do with a noble race, Agartha, invisible portals only to noble that can see them, the hollow earth based in Antarctica, and many others that are only for a few, according to claims. For the many, these are conspiracy theories and myths as far as their understanding goes, and therefore you should not even tell them such matters concerning these things. It's like talking to people who don't understand. After all, Admiral Richard Byrd from the United States had also met them. Short summary, his plane was greeted by flying machines of a type he had never seen before. He was escorted to a safe landing area where emissaries from Agartha greeted him politely. After resting, he himself was informed that he had been allowed to enter there because of his high moral character. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.